Et pour, n'est-ce pas, clôturer cette séquence d'allocution de bienvenue, j'invite très respectueusement son Excellence Monsieur Samuel E. Jinapor, ministre des Terres et des Ressources naturelles de la République du Ghana, à me rejoindre sur le pupitre pour prononcer son allocution. Monsieur le ministre, sous vos applaudissements.
Thank you very much. My brother, the Senegalese Minister for Energy, Petroleum and Mines, my brother, the Minister for Mines of the Democratic Republic of Congo, the Managing Director of the French Geological Survey Agency, the Interministerial Delegate for Critical Minerals of France, Excellencies, members of Ghana's delegation, representatives of governments, captains of the mining industry, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. I am grateful to the organizers of the Mining on Top Africa Summit, AME Trade, for putting together this important conference and for the invitation to deliver the official address to open the 7th edition of the conference in this historic city of Paris. I bring you warm greetings from the President of the Republic of Ghana, His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, an avowed believer in public-private partnership and under whose outstanding leadership Ghana has continued to build and strengthen her relations with France, members of the European Union, and several other countries with common goals. It was therefore not surprising that shortly after assuming office in 2017, His Excellency President Emmanuel Macron paid a state visit to Ghana, the first Anglophone country in Africa to be visited by the President, which was reciprocated with a state visit by President Akufo-Addo in 2019. It is out of this bond of friendship and shared goals that despite being an English-speaking country, Ghana took the decision in 2006 when President Akufo-Addo was the then Minister for Foreign Affairs to become an associate member of the International Organization of La Francophonie. And under his presidency, Ghana has made yet another move to become a full member of this noble organization. Distinguished guests, aside France, Ghana has enjoyed a long-standing multifaceted partnership with the rest of Europe, shaped by centuries of interactions, ranging from exploration, trade, colonization, independence, and contemporary cooperation. This partnership, remarkably, to a significant extent, hinges on the exploitation and use of our mineral resources. Indeed, our first encounter with Europe, sometime in the 15th century, was when some Portuguese explorers sailed to a town in the west coast of our country, and overwhelmed by the abundance of minerals they discovered, they named the place Elmina, which translates from Portuguese as quote, the mine, end quote. According to the renowned mining historian, Professor Raymond Dumont, the purpose of the Portuguese sailing to West Africa was to shore up their depleting gold reserves in Lisbon. And by early 16th century, they had already built 2 mines in Elmina before being joined by the Dutch and the English, making Ghana, then known as the Gold Coast, an attraction for European commerce. Over the years, Ghana's relations with Europe have grown stronger, and today, Ghana is one of the only 2 countries in West Africa to have an economic partnership agreement and the voluntary partnership agreement in the forestry sector with the European Union, signed more than a decade ago. The success of these agreements and our cooperation, however, require shared values and goals. That is why I find the theme for this year's conference, quote, Europe-Africa Mining Partnership for Sustainable and Inclusive Development, end quote, very apt and consequential. It is a subject of paramount importance as we seek to navigate the complexities of global resource management, economic development, and environmental stewardship in this 21st century. Excellencies, without a doubt, the mining industry is very crucial to the economies of both Africa and Europe. As major producers of minerals such as gold, bauxite, diamond, copper, and rare earth elements, the mining sector is a significant source of revenue and employment for African countries and pivotal to our economic growth. These minerals are essential for various industries such as energy, technology, and manufacturing, and as net consumers, the sector is critical for European countries to maintain industrial activities and technological advancements. This has become even more imperative today as the world seeks to transition to green energy. Despite centuries of mining, Africa still holds some 30% of the world's mineral reserves, including most of the green minerals required for the green energy transition. Available statistics show that the continent hosts 91% of the platinum group of metals, 79% of phosphate rock, 53% of cobalt, 46% of manganese, 35% of chromite, 25% of bauxite, 21% of graphite, 6% of copper, and substantial deposits of other minerals such as lithium, iron ore, and rare earth elements. The African Union 209 African Mining Vision enjoins us to promote optimal exploitation of these mineral resources to underpin broad base of sustainable growth and socio-economic development. This requires that we develop the right tools and technologies, as well as build the right partnerships to optimize the benefits from these minerals. Regrettably, since the discovery of these minerals on our continent, the approach to their exploitation has been what we have rightly described as, and I quote, dig and ship, end quote, to feed industries outside the continent. This approach has denied the African continent of the optimal benefits that would have been derived from building the value chain of the industry on the continent. Bloomberg, for instance, estimates that the global lithium industry at the mining stage is about 11 billion United States dollars, but the value of the industry at the highest end is over 7 trillion United States dollars. Today, because of the policy of dig and ship, African countries involved in the exploitation of lithium are said to be making a paltry 10 to 15% of the full value generated from developing an end-to-end commodity supply chain. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, the mining industry has the potential to contribute positively to sustainable and inclusive development without leaving anyone behind. The United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, SDGs, provides a framework to address climate change, resource depletion, and socio-economic inequalities which threaten the well-being of our global community. Mutually beneficial mining partnerships between Europe and Africa is crucial to meeting these 2030 goals. For our modern day lives depend largely on mining and the appropriate use of variety of minerals. We must therefore consider the benefits generated through value addition and the ability to transform them into innovative products and associated services to meet the needs of modern living. We must ensure that the framework of the exploitation of these minerals favorably generates benefits which are equitably distributed among all stakeholders, including countries and communities that host these minerals. Through these partnerships, we can tackle environmental degradation, social conflicts, and economic inequalities while promoting efficiency and safety at the mine. Our economic partnership agreements must therefore be designed not only to foster trade and investment, but promote value addition to the minerals we mine, create job opportunities for economic growth, and tackle poverty. This obviously calls for the implementation of mining-friendly policies that protect the interests of citizens and investors alike, while championing environmental sustainability. That is why Ghana, under the distinguished leadership of President Akufo-Addo, has adopted a green minerals policy which aims at promoting value addition and beneficiation across the value chain of our green minerals, while contributing substantially to the green energy transition. Our aim is to ensure the retention of the full value chain of these minerals in the country to the extent possible. Already, we have established through a public-private partnership a 400-kilogram capacity gold refinery to refine the gold we produce. We are also promoting, through this policy, local content and local participation across the value chain of our green minerals, from exploration through mining to downstream production, to ensure that Ghanaians, who are by our national constitution the true owners of these resources, benefit optimally from them. To ensure the availability of domestic partnership for foreign investment, government has again established by an act of parliament the Minerals Income Investment Fund as Ghana's sovereign minerals fund to serve as a strategic tool for investment associated with Ghana's minerals and mining sector. With strong emphasis on its corporate governance, MIF has been able to establish itself as a local co-investor whose operations and involvement de-risk investments for other market players, as its recent investment in Atlantic Lithium shows. Additionally, we have also established through Acts of Parliament the Ghana Integrated Aluminium Development Corporation and the Ghana Integrated Iron and Steel Development Corporation to enter into strategic partnerships to promote and develop in our country integrated aluminium and iron and steel industries. It is the implementation of these policies, among others, that has made Ghana the leading producer of gold in Africa, with 3 large-scale gold mines still under construction by Newmont Corporation, one of the world's largest gold companies, in the Middle Belt, Azuma Resources in the northwestern part, and Shandong Gold in the northeastern part of our country, which is set to pour its first gold in the last quarter of this year, in addition to several investments in other minerals such as lithium, graphite, cobalt, nickel, copper, lead, zinc, and chromium. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, it is perhaps not a mere coincidence that we are meeting here in Paris, the celebrated city of Europe, where almost a decade ago the world met to adopt the momentous Paris Agreement. If it is indeed a coincidence, it must be a meaningful one. We must therefore use this opportunity to renew our commitment to tackling climate change through measures such as the green energy transition, which mining plays a central role in its implementation. The transition must, however, be fair, just, inclusive, and carry everyone along. It must not be pursued in a manner that will benefit the consumers of clean energy, investors, and their home countries, but it must be done in a way that benefits the ultimate producers of the minerals required for the transition, who have consistently suffered the historical injustice commonly referred to as, and I quote, resource curse, end quote. The need for balance and indeed equity is critical for sustainability and inclusive development. The green energy transition offers us a unique opportunity to work for a more equitable development of our nations through technology, innovation, and value addition. This is the only way to promote sustainability in the exploitation and use of our natural resource endowment. The creation of a single African market through the Africa Continental Free Trade Area, AFTA, and its headquarters situated in Ghana's vibrant capital city of Accra, and the historical relationship between Europe and Africa makes this collaboration essential. In recent years, China has shown a growing interest in the mining belt of Africa. As Africa navigates its partnerships with global powers, it is essential for Europe to reaffirm its commitment to a partnership based on transparency, sustainability, and mutual benefit. By collaborating on infrastructural development, technology development, capacity building, and more importantly, value addition, Europe can offer long-term development over short-term gains. It is our hope that through this summit, Afro-Euro relationship will be strengthened with increased relevant investments along the full value chain of Africa's mining industry. Ghana, particularly, with her open society, vibrant economy, resilient democratic institutions, respect for individual liberties, with the rule of law and democratic accountability ingrained in her body politics, beckons. Honorable Ministers, Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, in conclusion, sustainable and inclusive development is not merely desirable. It is a moral imperative and a strategic necessity. A mutually beneficial Europe-Africa mining partnership is crucial to realizing this goal. By working together, we can create a future that respects our shared histories, addresses our present challenges, and paves the way for a sustainable and prosperous tomorrow. Let us, therefore, commit to this partnership with renewed vigor and determination. And together, we can achieve an inclusive development that leaves no one behind and ensures a better future for all citizens of our world. Je vous remercie. I thank you for your attention.
Thank you very much, Minister.